we're just gonna change things up, and yeah, we're changing things up. We're gonna, we're playing against bots. It is an older COD on screen. I don't think there's, you know, anyone really playing it with all the titles that are out now and everything.
Team deathmatch.
But I figured
Time
we
to
could
work, Ghost
we could
Squad.
keep things slow and have a nice little chit chat about things going on. And wow, bots are real kick-ass on this game. Oh my goodness! All right, that's pretty wild. So yeah, bunch of gaming news that are always going on in the world, and I don't know. I like to take time and really look at things and chit chat with you guys. I would love to have debates, or I want to hear people's opinions on oh my goodness, talk about ghosts here. Jeez. Yeah, I just want to talk about people's opinions, and everyone's thoughts. If there's something wanted me to cover down the line, perfect. I will look into everything. I am willing to, if we're ever talking about something and I'm on one side of the fence and you're on the other side of the fence, I want to know why and everything that yeah, so
We're in the lead.
what to expect when I'm doing these types of videos. Yeah, just straight up, if something's going on in the world, in the world of gaming at least, there is a law. There's a rumor law coming out that about protecting games, and I'm gonna look into it more deeply. But basically, it's so games that are like live service heavily, like Kill the Justice League, for the ones that buy games like that, and if it fails, and the developers or the company that's promoting it, or all that, pulls the plug on such a game, it kind of sucks for the players that actually put their money in, especially like live service games where it's, you buy the game, which is anywhere from 60 if you're lucky to 80, 100, 120 for the different versions of the games. Ooh, what's over here? So yeah, I guess what I could read up on it was it's a law that's gonna make it so that those games that are going offline, or that are getting deservice or whatever, not gonna be supported, blah blah blah. They will have to have like an offline mode and a way for the player counts that is around and did put their hard-earned cash into it to still have something to enjoy. I think that's a really good idea, because there's so many good games that kind of get cut down, or they're not necessarily good games, but they're decent and have a reason for if it's a underwhelming fan base, there's still players that enjoyed it. like Kill the Justice League. It was a controversial game. I haven't played it. I've looked into the game. Him and Hod. Maybe down the line if I see it, you know, for sale. You know, and if it is available to be played offline and whatnot, I would maybe play it. Those types of games don't always catch my attention anyways. I'm a big Arkham Asylum and City and Night fan, and you know, always looking for more Batman content. And yeah, I was wanting that game to be better than what it was, but I could see what they were going for, and I wasn't in a huge rush to grab it. So yeah, and another example would be Avengers, Marvel Avengers. Totally just a live service, you know, Iron Man, Thor, Cap, and Black Widow, and I think they added Spider-Man and a bunch of other characters to it. But, you know, sadly, it was the main story when you first pick it up is pretty decent, quick, and, you know, not like the biggest, like, you know, twists and, you know, drop mouth, you know, crazy plot or anything. But it was a decent Avengers game. I mean, we don't get a lot of we do, but we don't get a lot of superhero games. Like, and that's the thing. With how great the MCU, for example, is, I think we've only gotten like Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2 movie tie-ins, and Captain America and Thor tie-in games. So yeah, like, you know, that was quite that was quite the game. I enjoyed it. I did play it. I enjoyed the story. Like I said, nothing like worth, you know, going, oh my goodness, that was the greatest of all time or anything. But it was a nice, you know, I think they did a really good job at creating the Avengers. I wish there was a little bit more to the gameplay, sure, but they did do a decent job for what the game was. It was pretty good. But totally understandable that it got shut down within, I think, the first year or two that they had it out. So yeah, there is a law. I'm gonna look into it more. There is a law that they are wanting to pass that will make it so that developers, if you are making a game and then you do cut the support on it, that has to be an offline mode. I think too, like, I think another crazy thing is games like Black Ops, the campaign being online only. I think that's like another example of like, just why? Like, it doesn't need to be online only. So I'm hoping that we get back into games like that where it's just easy, simple, you know, nothing, you're not forced to be online if, you know, yeah, like, yeah, we live in the day and age where internet's super fast and everything, but at the same time, like, you don't always need the internet on, and shouldn't have to worry about your game crashing because the server went down and, you know, you lost your single player info and everything. So yeah, I think games need to get back into what they were. Another, actually, another big topic I want to cover is the idea of you know, what are games that you guys think, or topics, like either comics or TV shows, movies,
Guard dog KIA.
that should be a game that you could see being a very successful game. I have a few, and as time goes on, I will be making videos about them. However, I think today, I'm a big ginormous Ben 10 fan. Loved it. Loved the classic. For those that don't know, it's a series. It's a TV series. A boy finds a incredible alien device that turns him into aliens.
Juggernaut ready for delivery.
Oh my goodness, we got the Juggernaut. How sweet is that? So yeah, the kid can turn into aliens, and basically as time goes on, he gains more powers, gains more DNA of different aliens, fights bigger foes, and you know, just goes from there. The later series sees him as an older kid, different aliens playlists on his device, and it's just such a cool idea, and I like there's a few
Guard dog killed in action.
there's a few video games of it. There's a few, like, you know, kind of like cheap you know, movie tie-in game or whatever,
Ghost Squad has
and
Juggernaut.
they are good games. Some of them are, at least were pretty good games, but they weren't, you know, your triple A, you know, Call of Duty money, Assassin's Creed money, type of games, you know, like they were small projects, basically, easy made projects. And I'm thinking, at the time that we are in, with, you know, the powers that are out there of, you know, stories and, you know, graphics and everything, it's like, how is it that someone hasn't picked up the title, the IP of Ben 10, and made it full-fledged, you know, an open world game, like, with tons of money gone into it, full-fledged teams working on it. I could see it rocking out, where, and it could be made in such a way, like, you could easily have DLC packages
Vulture expired.
of, like, you know, oh wow, you know, you could easily have it where, you know, it's a full open world game, and, you know, you could do it down in different ways. You can make it an open world game where you know, you play as Ben, you have, you know, a certain number of aliens, and, you know, each alien plays differently, different moves, all that sort of stuff. You're able to do, you know, like, open world Fallout, Red Dead 2 size maps or something, you know, like, just crazy size maps, different missions, different, like, a big story. Take someone out with a knife. Okay, cool. And, you know, and if it's a developer that's wanting to make money off the project after the initial release, you have it easily there. You make DLC packages of, like, new aliens. Boom, you know? Oh, you want more than, you know, what was in-game to unlock? You know, $10 and you get, like, 5 more aliens or something. and a story to carry on. You know, like as much as I love, you know, developers to just make a game and give us free content afterwards, you know, they got to make money, and in this world it's kind of hard to ask for them to give us a lot of things for free. The other thing too is for them to make money is easily just give us like little figurines of aliens and characters and things to go along with the game. Like, you know, you bought the, you know, $100, $120 version of the game on, you know, you get to play the game, you know, a couple days early. Here's like a couple figurines to go along with it. There's, you know, collectibles or something to go along with it. That'd be awesome for any real Ben 10 fan. Also, like, just to give you an idea, there is like people out there making short films of the series, like just their own fan base, fandom. There's comics. There's a awesome team out there making like a comic. They made a 5 years later comic series that comes after the TV series came to an end, and then they're just making an awesome I don't know what you like, a film, but like comic come to life film. It's hard to describe it, but really awesome, and it gets so much love. So easily, I could easily see a game coming out with a, you know, awesome story,
Enemy SATCOM spotted.
lots of aliens to turn into, lots of, you know, lots of opportunities to make money for a business deal, for the business end of things. And it just boggles my mind that we are in such a age where we're starting to get awesome, you know, games to TV shows. We got, you know, the MCU. I know right now the MCU is in a tough spot, and we'll talk about that in another episode. But, you know, there's so many, you know, like we've had comic books come to life, and they're full-fledged, you know, millions of dollars, billions of dollars, and, you know, they're giving us something that, you know, you're not a nerd to love, and it's something for everyone, and everything. You know, we live in an age where superheroes is awesome to be a fan of, and you know, I think everyone's come to realize that you're not like a complete loser for enjoying comic books and video games and such. So it's so funny to me that we are not, you know, like a series like Ben 10 could easily be the next big, you know, Witcher 3 Wall Hunt, or, you know, the Red Dead 2, or the Call of Duty that, you know, everyone grinds for, or, you know, whatever. It could be that game. It could be like that big of a deal. And, you know, and it could easily make tons of money for the developers, for the producers, you know, for Activision or Naughty Dogs or Rockstar, whoever has, you know, I know it's by Warner Brothers, that's it. But I'm just giving you the, you know, whoever's gonna make that game, it does have, you know, the ability to give you so much more money that you put into it. yeah, like I think it would be a blast. And such you could even make it where like every alien that he turns into, you know, has like a a small story to go along with it, you know, homeworld type of thing. Um, you could easily have like, you know, character skins in it, you know, you get it so that Ben has different skins to have.
Guard dog killed in action.
You could have it where, you know, you can easily have it where you have like different time of Bens. You could, you know, customize the Omnitrix, the watch that creates the aliens. You know, there's so many things that they could easily, you know, put out like, oh, buy this version, you get this comes with it. And it just boggles my mind that we are in such a life, and there's, you know, the games that have come out, you know, years ago, they were just your straightforward movie tie-ins, TV show tie-in, you know, 10
Report
levels,
to command for debrief.
not the best on the graphics, not the best, you know, decent gameplay, whatever, but I truly think we could easily have a Ben 10 game. It would wake up so many fans, so many people would come calling, ones that are like into X-Men and Marvel and DC would jump in on it as well. Um, yeah, I think that would be pretty cool to do, to see come to life. So that's that video, guys. If you like it, tell me. Leave comments. Tell me everything you could picture. I might make up of a follow video. We'll see, and we'll have videos of talking about different things. So this is Fall Gone Fall 4. Later.